Hey everybody, it's Ben Duke. And did you know that self-help is a band-aid without one thing? Self-awareness. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 ways to become self-aware. Now, number 5, self-time. Now, this might seem cliche and kind of, oh yeah, that makes sense, that's easy, I get that. But so many people with the distractions today don't have enough self-time. And that's the alone time where they can do deep work, where they can write, read, study, research, dive into the things that they love and that they're passionate about. It's so important for your own self-awareness. Next is when you really look at successful people and in their lives, and we're modeling success here, we want to think about what they do, and what they carve out as far as self-time is the beginning of their mornings and in the evening time. And that makes a lot of sense. Why? Because life gets in the middle, people get in the middle, circumstances, events, life really happens to us in the middle of the day. But guess what? When we carve out our own time in the morning, in the evening without distractions, that's where we can really get a lot of self-time done. And the last thing about self-time is a peaceful mind is a successful and accomplished mind. And when we're at peace is when we are alone and we can be centered with our thoughts without distraction. Number 4, mindfulness. Now, I was taught mindfulness a few years ago, and I had a really hard time understanding the concept. And it's simply this: to be completely 100% present in the moment, in the now. See, I'm a very future-driven person. I like to set goals. I like to look ahead. And that's great. But if you get yourself caught too far in the future or too far in the past, there's 2 emotions that none of us like having that creep up. If we keep looking in the past, that's going to bring up a lot of fear, a lot of doubt. And if we keep looking to the future, that's going to bring on anxiety. Things that haven't happened yet, but we're too ramped up because that's all we're thinking about. Mindfulness helps us to stay in the present moment, which is so powerful. And it helps to remove that fear and anxiety. And also, when we're present, we can also check our own state. So if we're angry, frustrated, resentful, we can check ourselves, we can notice where that's coming from, be present, and move into a state of happiness, joy, fulfillment, those things that we want to be a part of. Number 3, journal and document. Now, I know we're not all going to be bloggers or have YouTube channels, but it is so valuable to write down our thoughts and our ideas on a daily basis, because that creates so much as far as what's important to us. And it might help us create a different life for our future. We might act on those ideas. And you know, when it comes to journaling, there's so many different ways to do it. I know some people might be thinking, well, it's really hard to journal. I've never done it before. I'm not much of a writer. Well, think about it this way. Journaling can be done not just for writing down your thoughts every day, but to be grateful. One of the most powerful ways to journal is just to write down 3 things that you're grateful for each morning, because it puts you in that gratitude state of mind that literally can transcend your day. And then you revisit it at the end of the day. A couple other different ways to journal is to literally just be able to mind dump. Write down your creative thoughts and ideas once a day or twice a day and be able to revisit those to see if there's something there. And the next thing is just to plan. I mean, it's so important to plan your day, so you could use your journal for just planning ahead or planning for your day or your week or your month in advance. Number 2, listening. And this is so powerful because unfortunately, a lot of people, when we're listening, all we're doing is evaluating and judging. But if we're more mindful with our listening, then we actually remove those 2 things and add compassion and empathy, which is exactly how we connect with other people. And when we're listening, also listen to our self-talk. All right, what are we saying to ourselves? All right, what is going through our minds? So be really aware of that. And if we need to change our state and our self-talk, we're more apt to do that if we're more mindful. Number 1, the self-audit. Now, this is the most powerful out of the 5. And the reason is because when you sit down and you ask another person, okay, what's your perspective of me? How do I treat you? How do I act? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What can I get better at? You let yourself be vulnerable with that person. And if they're honest with you, the takeaway is unbelievable. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's terrifying. But I promise you, not only will you learn from it and you could become better from what you hear, but it also helps you to connect with the person that you're asking. It shows that you care, that you're not so just about yourself, but you actually want to connect. And when you do that, you literally are able to find your blind spots, things that you don't see that other people do. So think about that. The best way to do the self-audit is a 360 self-audit. So you're not just doing it in the family and your friends that you feel comfortable with, but you're also doing it in the workplace or in groups that you're involved in. So you can really get an idea of who you're being to the different people and groups in your life. So I hope you're able to remove that Band-Aid and not just help yourself, but also be supportive to other people. And if you like what you heard, please comment below and subscribe to my channel.